Hey everybody, what's up? This is Flashjack. Welcome back to another video on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro: The Dawn of a New Era. Today, we are going to be doing Tramid. Now, what the Tramid archetype is, it's a series of rock-type monsters whose effects revolve around the field spells, with their ace monster being a level 10 Tramid Sphinx. Normally I would go first, but I want to demonstrate more of the cards, so I'm going to be going second. First things first, I'm going to activate Terraforming to add Tramid Cruiser to my hand. Then I'm going to activate Tramid Cruiser and normal summon Tramid Master. I'm going to activate the effect of Tramid Cruiser. Okay. So, I'm going to send Tramid Sphinx to the grave. Then, I'm going to activate the effect of Tramid Master to send Tramid Cruiser to the grave. Then, Tramid Cruiser's effect allows me to add another Tramid Sphinx to my hand. Then, I'll activate Tramid King Golem. And I'll set Tramid Pulse face down. And I'll attack directly. Power Bond? I don't like this. Cyber Twin Dragon? Chimera Tech Rampage. Going to activate the effect of Tramid Master. And then I'm also going to activate Tramid Pulse. So I'll banish Cruiser and Sphinx from my grave to destroy Rampage. And then Fortress. King Golem's effect will activate, so I get to special summon Tramid Sphinx from my hand. And the beauty of Tramid Sphinx is when it's on the field, then they are forced to attack it. They cannot attack any other. Okay. I'm going to activate Tramid Fortress, which will then, the effect of the other Tramid Fortress will activate my grave, allowing me to add Tramid Master to my hand. Which I will now normal summon. Then I'll activate the effect of Tramid Master, send my other Tramid Fortress to the grave to destroy his face down. Battle phase, I'll attack, and I will end my turn. It's all about what they draw next. Face down, huh? Well then, I'll normal summon Giant Century of Stone, activate the continuous spell Attack the Moon. Then I'll switch Tramid Master to defense mode, which will activate Attack the Moon's effect to destroy his face down. Oh wow, I totally flinched on that call. Anyway, I'll attack with Giant Century Stone and end my turn. What's next? I'll normal summon Tramid Dancer. Overlay it with Giant Century of Stone. Activate Soul of Silver Mountain's effect. So now they can't activate their face down. They'll activate the effect of Giant Century of Stone in my graveyard to special summon in an attack position. And I'll attack with both for the win. Okay, I will be right back with the deck list. Okay, so here is the deck. 3 copies of each Tramid monster, because you're going to need them. Their ability to swap out the field spells in the middle of your opponent's turn is a huge asset. Also, Tramid Dancer can shuffle 1 Tramid card in the graveyard into the deck, and then all rock-type monsters I currently control gain 500 attack and defense. Meaning, it's permanent. As long as it's on the field, it keeps that boost. And then also, we have Tramid Hunter, our other level 3, which, if you have a field spell card on the field, you can normal summon 1 rock-type monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn. So, yeah, it's good to have. Next we have Tramid Master, which, as you saw, you can send 1 face-up Tramid card you currently control to the graveyard, then target 1 set card on the field and destroy it. And then from the last Tramid card, Tramid Sphinx, is the powerhouse. It cannot be normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned with a Tramid card's effect. If a face-up Tramid card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect except Tramid Sphinx, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control another Tramid card, this card gains 500 attack and defense for each field spell with a different name in your graveyard. Also, monsters your opponent controls can only attack Tramid Sphinx. So basically, when this thing's on the field, your other monsters are untouchable, except by card effects, which we can get into in a minute. 1 copy of Block Dragon. It cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand or your graveyard by banishing 3 earth monsters from your hand and or graveyard. And cannot be special summoned by other ways. Rock-type monsters you control cannot be destroyed except by battle. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock monsters from your deck to your hand whose total levels equal 8. You can only use that effect to Block Dragon once per turn. So, Block Dragon is definitely an asset that you're going to want to have. If you have Tramid Sphinx, Block Dragon, and let's say Tramid King Golem, and any other Tramid monster, you pretty much got a very solid formation that cannot be broken. Because with Block Dragon's effect, Rock-type monsters can only be destroyed by battle. And with Tramid Sphinx's effect, all monsters can only attack Tramid Sphinx. And it gains 500 attack for attack and defense for each monster, for each a different field spell you have in your grave. So that's a maximum of 1500 extra, so that's 4000. Plus the 500 you gain from King Golem being in your field spell, in your field zone, would be an extra 500, so it would have 4500 attack. And just if you happen to have Tramid Dancer, then you can boost its attack even more. So you can form really airtight things where the only solution would be banishment or returning to the hand. Yeah, anything other than destroying, basically. Anyway, next we have 3 copies of Giant Century of Stone. If this card is in your graveyard and all monsters you control are Rock-type monsters with a minimum of 1, so you have to control a monster, you can special summon this card. You can only use that effect once per turn. This is your defensive wall that you're going to want, basically. 3 copies of Block Golem. If all monsters in your graveyard are Earth, then you contribute that card to target 2 level 4 or lower Rock-type monsters in your graveyard except Block Golem, and special summon this target, but their effects that activate on the field cannot be activated that turn. Simple enough. 1 copy of Terraforming because you need it. 3 copies of Attack the Moon. Once per turn, when the battle position of a Rock-type monster you control is changed, you can target 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls and destroy it. And that's just for this 1 card. Now, if you have all 3 copies on the field, then every time a rock monster switches positions, you can destroy 3 spell or trap cards. Finally, onto the field spells, we got Tramid Fortress. All Rock-type monsters gain 500 attack, gain 500 defense. Tramid monsters on the field cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this face-up card is sent from the field zone to the graveyard, you can target 1 Tramid monster in your graveyard add to your hand. Tramid Cruiser. Each time a Rock-type monster is normal summoned, gain 500 life points. If a Tramid monster is normal summoned, you can draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. If this card is sent from the field zone to the graveyard, you can add 1 Tramid monster from your deck to your hand. And finally, Tramid Golem. All Rock-type monsters gain 500 attack. If a Tramid monster you control battles, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. If this face-up card is sent from the field zone to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Tramid monster from your hand. A very popular one to do, a very popular combo. If you have if you have Tramid Cruiser, Tramid King Golem, and another field spell or a card that will destroy a field spell, then a very popular thing to do is activate Tramid Cruiser, then activate King Golem, Tramid Cruiser adds Sphinx to hand, then either activate another field spell to get rid of Golem or destroy Golem, and then by doing that you can special summon the Tramid Sphinx you added to your hand. So pretty good. Rock Bombardment, 2 copies of that. Select 1 Rock-type monster in your deck and send it to the graveyard. Inflict 500 damage to your opponent, then shuffle the deck. So Rock Bombardment is a quick way to get some monsters to the grave, such as Block Dragon or Giant Century of Stone. Those are the monsters you're probably going to be wanting to send to the grave. 1 copy of Jar of Avarice, just because. 2 copies of Release from Stone. Select 1 of your removed from play rock monsters and special summon it. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Finally, 3 copies of Tramid Pulse is a continuous trap that has 3 different effects. Once per turn, you can banish a total of 2 rock monsters and or field spell cards from your graveyard, then activate 1 of these effects. Target 1 other face-up card on the field, destroy it. Target 1 rock-type monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense mode. Target up to 3 field spell cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So this is the powerhouse out of the spell and trap cards. Anyway, I did think that maybe I thought that maybe you should have some extra stuff in the side deck just in case. So put Grand Soil in there. Special summon by having exactly 5 Earth monsters in your graveyard, and cannot be special summoned. When special summoned, target one monster either plays graveyard. Special summon it and summon that target to your side of the field. If this card leaves the field, skip your next battle phase. The battle phase of your next turn. Sorry. And then Exod, Master of the Guard, cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except by attributing one Sphinx monster. Each time an Earth monster is flip summoned while this card remains face up on the field, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So it's a 4,000 defense card. A card with 4,000 defense. Have this and a Block Dragon on your field? Yeah, pretty good thing. Now you're probably wondering, why would you put this in there? It's simple, really. You got a Tramid Sphinx right there that can be tributed. And then finally, Barrel from a different dimension. Up to 3 removed from play cards back to the owner's graves. Finally, we move on to the extra deck. Now, in terms of rank 4s, there could be some better ones. I just wanted to stick with the whole Earth theme. You can definitely change it. One copy of number 55, Go Goliath. All monsters you control gain 800 defense. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 level 4 Earth Rock type monster from your graveyard. Add that target to your hand. You can only use effects once per turn. And then a copy of Fairy King Alberdic, maybe. I don't know. 2 level 4 Earth monsters once per turn. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. All non-Earth monsters currently on the field lose 500 attack. And since the only non-Earth monster in this deck, well, there's 2 of them. That would be Gorgonic Guardian and F-Zero Utopic Future. So, usually you're going to be in a good situation. 2 copies of number 51, Finish Hold the Amazing. 3 level 3 monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. At the end of the damage step of this card battled, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, place 1 counter on this card. Damage calculations is performed involving this card. At the end of the battle phase, while 3 counters on this card, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. The nuker of this deck. Next you have Soul of Silver Mountain. 2 level 3 Earth monsters. Once per turn you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. Target 1 set card in your opponent's spell trap card zone. It cannot be activated while this card face up on the field. If this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle while it has a Xyz material, you can target 1 Earth monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face up defense position. So if you have another rank 3 in your grave, you can special summon it. Then after that, one second, okay, yeah, but then you can special summon 1 rank 3 Xyz monster from your grave, then overlay for Utopic Future. Gorgonic Guardian, this is the main powerhouse card of the extra deck. The one you're probably going to be using the most. 2 level 3 rock type monsters once per turn. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Its attack becomes 0, and if it does, its effects are negated. These effects last until the end of the turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster on the field with 0 attack, destroy. So, best time to use this is during the battle phase, or when your opponent is activating an effect, so you can stop them in their tracks. 3 copies of Giant Soldier of Steel, 2 level 3 rock type monsters. This card is unaffected by other monsters' effects. Once per turn during a player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. It gains 1,000 defense until the end phase, and if it does, you can take no effect damage from your opponent's card effects this turn. If your opponent has a card that will deal you a lot of damage, or deal both of you a lot of damage, summon this, and then activate its effect. So only your opponent will take damage if it's a card that deals damage to you both, and if it's just a card that deals damage to you, well, then you don't take damage. Finally, we have number F-Zero Utopic Future. You need 2 Xyz monsters with the same rank except number monsters. So Finish Hold the Amazing and Go Goliath cannot be used as Xyz materials for this card. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can take control of that opponent's monster until the end of the battle phase. This card, if this face-up card on the field would be destroyed by a card effect, you can detach one exception from this card instead. So basically, take control of your opponent's monsters, attack them with them, and you take no battle damage from that. So, fun. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to click that like button down below. I will be getting more videos out. I started a job recently. I have finals coming up at school, so I've been very busy. So, yeah, when summer rolls around, you'll be seeing a lot more. Anyway, until next time, this has been Flashback, and I will see you all later.